Today we shall discuss the thrilling topic, which is a game, or I shall say a game service, called Assassin's Creed Infinity. Ubisoft has confirmed the new title, which will arguably be the biggest project from this franchise. What specifically is hidden behind this title? As I mentioned, this is a game service. What does it mean? Well, it isn't supposed to be a one-shot release, but a title which will be supported for years and become one big project for Ubisoft. This French developer already has tried something like that with The Division or The Division 2, and also implemented some of that approach to Valhalla, where the emphasis was on adding new stuff to the game that will keep players in it for a longer period of time. Basically, this title is kind of fun on rumors, as we do not know any formal and official info. It was all initially started by Jason Schreier, which is an insider leaking a lot of stuff, and most of the time it turns out to be valid. But in reality, not only him began the talk about Infinity, but also Ubi shared some hints off and on in interviews or any discussions around the future of Assassin in the next games and how they want to develop this franchise. And importantly, with Infinity, they are planning to make some kind of an application, not really a game, a system that links all worlds and eras of Assassins together. I don't know if you remember, but back in Assassin's Black Flag, we had an approach like that, actually. Maybe not as a real physical thing, but apart from Edward's story and his adventures, there were interludes when we bounced back from the assassin and impersonated a worker in some kind of institution, having our own desktop, etc., from where we could access all the assassin stuff about Edward and Black Flag. That's basically the goal with our computer, which will be like the station, the host for all of it, for the system linking all and containing all of the areas and assassins together. This, as I mentioned, might be some application or service that will let us access all the vast worlds and areas. Can I have just all assassins from Valhalla to Odyssey and Syndicate, for example, in one place, like some library like Steam or Epic Games? The thing is that there's not really it. Although Infinity will contain all of those worlds, it doesn't specifically mean it will be with the characters, story, and so on. Basically, it will be possible to jump right into Valhalla map, but not as Eivor. The maps will be available, but not as the content of the previous game with quests, story mode, etc. Ubisoft actually hinted us what it might look like. Let's say that in medieval Rome we look for an object or a person, we gather some information, complete few quests, meet particular people, but in the end it seems that in that era, in that region, place, whatever this will be, it is only a part of data, and as players we must seek for more in order. That could be, for instance, some place during World War II or ancient Egypt. We would just travel between them, fulfilling one big quest, including all of those places to actually finish it. And Ubisoft wants to make this a long-run game, which means it will take weeks, months, or even years to complete it. It will be supported, which means that there will be added more and more into it when it will be released. There are just tons and tons of ideas for this game service. Whether it could be an ancient Rome or World War II times, or even our current year, the concept seems to not end, and that's the thing. It just can be, developed for years and still be relevant. Actually, if there will be multiple worlds, this French developer knows world building very well, so there shouldn't be any doubts about that. But honestly, Infinity might sting as a cash grab from its users, which Ubisoft also knows well. This title is supposed to be developed by two major Ubisoft studios, which is the Quebec and Montreal. Keeping this in mind, it seems that Infinity is to be the most ambitious project ever from this studio. What about the multiplayer? Well, it seems like there might be something like that. The rumors actually kind of lead us towards that thing. Actually, multiplayer and online mode is something unexplored by Ubisoft. Obviously, there were attempts. Basically, Black Flag was my favorite assassin, where I spent days of time on multiplayer because, it just seemed fun. really just the idea of an assassin in cooperation looks cool. For example, let's just say that you have, I don't know, assassination quest in some castle together with your friends, you need to kill a bishop. Nonetheless, what's wrong, they might actually take the approach of MMO, which, well, if that would be the way they would go, it would mean a lot of damage to the franchise. Assassins are meant for something else and not just, you know, relax and play together or have fun killing everyone and everything that moves. They also most of the time share some stories, some real personalities, places that are unique and give some deeper look at the story. Multiplayer is indeed a great path, but it must be well executed. It needs to be a thing next to the single player. When it will be actually released? Well, that's the biggest question. When will we have the trailer or teaser or anything like that? Well, the confirmation is all we have. Basically, there is nothing more. But from Schrader's info, it is supposed to be launched somewhere in 2023 or 2024. We don't know yet. Maybe, who knows? Ubisoft also is working on Assassin's Creed Rift, but seemingly this will be the last thing before the Infinity.